said, if you put it in proper perspective, but just paraphrasing, was that he cannot say it's 1 year he's been in office. That it's not 1 year, it's just about 4 months thereabout. And why he had said that, well, we hope we find out this morning. We'll be speaking with the special aide to the Rivers State Governor, Darlington Orji, who would be joining us on the show this morning via telephone. We're just trying to get across to him, but then the phone lines at the moment, perhaps it has something to do with the weather. It's proven to be a bit difficult. So while we work in establishing contact, we would need your thoughts on this. Now, was the governor right when he said that he has done more in 3 months than 8 years of past administrations? Remember, he did not specify any administration, but made a general statement. 8 years of past administrations, and many people have begun to read into it to say perhaps he was referring to the immediate past administration. Well, there are those who called during the newspaper review to say he might have been referring to the Peter Delhi administration. Some people say no, the Rotimi Amechi administration. We don't know which one, but then that in 3 months he's done more. Some people seem to agree, some do not. On Facebook, let's get your thoughts about it as we also open the phone lines and get your perspective to this. What would you make of the governor's comment saying he's done better in 3 months than past administrations have done in 8 years? And to think that he's been in office for 1 year, why is he saying in 3 months? Because this is 1 year now since he was sworn into office. Well, almost a year because we have a couple of days left. But, I mean, we could just say a year in office. So why does the governor say 3 months? Well, let's figure out your thoughts as we try to get to my guest. Perhaps will give us more on that. But for you, what do you make of the comment that the governor made? 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003. Now, if you also had followed some of the activities that have been ongoing, the governor was in Ingo Town, inaugurating the Andoni section of the Ogoni Andoni Okobo Unity Road, which is a good project. We also had the reps member of the National Assembly, Mr. Abiante, at that event, who was also, talking about how for long this has been on. We had also had former national chairman of the PDP, Chuse Secondos, and many others who had attended that event. So, was the governor in any way correct with that? What's your view? Let's find out quickly. Tell us your name, where you are calling from, and just straight to your contribution. Good morning, Nigeria Info. Hello, good morning, Nigeria Info. All right, let's get on to another caller now. Good morning, Nigeria Info.
Yeah, good morning.
All right, good morning.
My name is Promise Deke. I'm from Ghana.
All right, Promise, go ahead.
Yeah, what the governor has said, I think we need to first of all examine why he said it's 3 months. I don't know whether it was by error or maybe the governor is not aware that he's now 1 year in office. But keep that aside. By my own assessment, the governor started well by trying to leverage some of the contemporary issues that have affected his feelings in the administration. And I think that we must give to him by the promotion of civil servants and other incentives we give. However, they are not also completely done what they supposed to do when it compares to the human capital development. It's not halfway. I believe it's a result of politics. So the other aspects the government is doing now, which is concerned the road, for now, what I have seen is not commissioning of the completed project, but it's inauguration of the road. So I don't think the government is to assess even the ordinary government to the last administration. Nobody actually come and tell us that the government has done far more than the past administration.
All right.
But the way the governor has started, if he continue in this way, he will definitely perform more than the past administration.
All right, thank you. Nigeria Info, good morning.
Good morning. Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Good. Move fast on the line.
All right, go on.
I want to say that I totally agree with the governor. It may not entirely, categorically speaking, completely surpassed. But if you look at his policies, you will know that there is a policy direction. Now, let us reference the immediate past administration. We could tell that it was focused entirely on road construction. And most of the roads, you also if you look at this particular government is going to different sectors of the economy. Look at the area of the civil service, which is very, very important. Within this shortest period of time, it said 4 months, that it started 4 months ago. I'm sure you understand what has been happening, in inception of his government. So there are certain things that we may not have been seeing before that we are seeing today. The civil servants are happy. They look at the decentralization of development. We are not seeing that true local government kind of development. We are seeing a development kind of pattern that is having a spread to all the 3 senatorial districts. So for me, I think this administration has done so much. A lot of people might argue that 4 months or 1 year may be too short to begin to assess and compare with past administration. But basically and generally speaking, I think that statement is in order. Civil service, decentralization of development, massive. So for me, it is a very welcome development.
All right, thank you very much. Don't forget that the WhatsApp number is 0809-030-6416. That is the WhatsApp number, 0809-030-6416. Plenty of messages on Facebook. I would also be taking those messages shortly. This one is JJ from Rumigbo. Good morning, JJ.
Yeah, Andrew, good morning.
All right, go on.
Yes, the statement of governor is well carried. From inauguration till October 30th, you remember the story of George Floyd, with his nails on his neck. That was the situation we have, and it was like arrested development. But after October, that's when we started something that led to that 4-5 months that we talk about here. But going to projects, where has the governor not touched? Is it employment? Is it that didn't happen for close to 10 years in the civil service? Is it pension? Is it Christmas bonus? Is it debt level Transcala barrier that nobody even dared to mention as if the biggest shrine is on that road? These are some of the businesses have also gotten their own part. You were there when they gave people their checks, businesses, to make sure that they go at the end of the day. So tell me the areas he has not touched at the end of the day. Over 1,000 doctors were employed for the X sector, and employment are still going on. The 10,000 employment civil service is still going on. He has also identified that schools need some touch, the health sector needs some touch. What again does anybody want at the end of the day? So for me, he has shined the one. Our people say something that if you give a child the armor, whatever it is becomes nails. Flyover. Who makes sure any administration, flyover 1, you can complete flyover 2 or 3 and all those. Well, at the end of the day, he has surpassed those because there was no promotion. Even children that you are supposed to pay 6 billion naira so that they can complete their studies abroad, they were all returned here. You know the rest of the story.
All right, JJ.
So for me,
very well. No, Krika.
Thank you.
Mira, quickly, let's hear from you before the commercial. Good morning.
Thank you, sir. Good morning. If there's one thing I take from the governor is that he doesn't talk at random, and when he talks, I believe there's an atom of truth. Maybe he has backed down and he has talked about it. Listen, the governor was not a person. In fact, that was even additional house department in charge of money going out. If he says he has done more than the former administration, so I think that there's truth in it in that sense. There's difference between running just within your compound and running far, run with the potential. There's a different distance. house he has covered and bought the money he has brought out to instead of the project is far beyond what another generation did.
All right, Muriel, we'd have to pause you here, please. You can do well to call us back, but let's take this commercial first. Thank you, Muriel.
Mom's love is pure, it's so she does. Mom's special jolly.
The governor of River State, Mr. Orji, thank you for joining us this morning on the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Quickly, before we get on with the conversation, just a reminder that you can participate by first getting on Facebook at Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. If you try to get to us using the phone lines and you find it difficult, please send a message on Facebook. Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. Drop your comments there. We would also take them. You can also use the WhatsApp portal. That's another alternative way to get across to us. 0809 0306416. Now, before we get back to the phone lines, let me quickly say, Muriel, if you're listening, when we open the phone lines again, you can do well to call back. I know that we interrupted you, and that was because we had to go for commercial, so apologies for that. Quickly now to my guest, Mr. Orji. Some of the things that the governor has said in the recent days following events to mark his 1 year in office. First off, what's the itinerary for today?
by the special grace of God, we are going for the flag off of the original Trans-Calabari route, which will be the event will take place at Accra Road or Accra Junction. And by the special grace of God, it will be flagged off by the former president of the Republic of Nigeria, former president Goodluck Jonathan, by 10 o'clock by the special grace of God. We are believing that weather will be friendly before that time.
You're saying the original Trans-Calabari Road. Is there a fake one?
No, not that it's a fake one or there is a fake one. You know, in the original design of the Trans-Calabari Road, the previous administrations were looking at cost and its implications. And it's supposed to pass through Accra. Where the communities in the Calabar land that you will know or will make it public today by the special grace of God. But you know, the other one was routed through Abonima and all of that. So what I'm referring to is the original plan. There is no one that is fake. All
right. Then quickly, the governor had said that his administration is just 4 months. Can you explain that to us? Because we understand that the governor's been in office for 1 year, or let's say a couple of days more to make it a year. But he said 4 months. What does that mean?
Because there is no ambiguity in what he said. For even as a pressman, I know you understand. But for purpose of clarity, we want to push for it. All of us know what has been happening since the inception of this government on 29th May 2023. It did the harassment, offering, intimidation, compelling running of the day activity, and until now, the governor got his freedom and the river people are free, completely free. You know, I tell people who are this with me or who cares to know that the fight that has been on in River State is the soul of River State and who control the resources of the people. And for me, who believes that if anything goes right or wrong, it is the governor as the chief accounting officer that will be questioned. So he has owned back his government. And this government lifespan is about 5 months or 4 months. I agree with you if you say the governor has been in office for 1 year problem. But we are saying the effectiveness of this government is in the last 4 months. The governor being totally in charge of whatever that is transferring. So whether people want to read it at contest or not, it doesn't matter. What matters is that the governor has said he who has the shoes. No, we are thinking. He has said it is in the last 4 months or thereabout that the government has kicked off in its earnest. In fact, the day the Attorney General was also sworn in, he also said that today marks the beginning of a new era. So people shouldn't be bothered by it. The end of this war is questions will be aroused. People will ask questions and present the scorecard. In the middle of this celebration, when the date that is going to present his scorecard so far, and you will understand what the government meant by this government lifespan just started a few months ago. My brother, is the truth.
You mentioned scorecard, which would point us in the direction of also accountability and due process. And some questions many would ask would be whether these projects that we are seeing being flagged off and commissioned and the contractors that handle them, what was the process that due process followed to arrive at, the contractors that are handling some of the jobs and the ones that will handle the jobs that are being flagged off? Because some people would say, would not see or hear of any open bidding where contractors came into say they would like to, and then perhaps at the end of the day the government arrived at one of the companies that would handle the jobs. What was the process like? And many would say this administration has priced itself to be one that follows due process. Is that the situation with the projects that have been commissioned and are being flagged off at the moment?
It is not, my dear brother. We have seen in the past when jamboree we have been organized in different forums, and contracts have been awarded randomly without, if you like, proper process being followed. I don't want to refer to it as due process. If you know the story of this governor, you will know that he's a very meticulous person in network who has gone through the ranks in traditional civil service job and understand the implication of not following due process. No one single award that has been given out that was not approved by the State Executive Council. And of course, after passing through the process of POQ through the Ministry of Works and all of that, advertisement being made, competitors, applied, processes completed, state executive council approved before it will be awarded. The only different thing, for instance, when we went to Anton yesterday, the other day, the government said, please, the Permanent Secretary Ministry of Works in the last contractor, so that we can further carry on this project from where we have stopped to a further point. The implication is that ordinarily he has the right to say I've awarded no, but that it's not some. So that's why he said, please liaise with the contractor so that the investigation can be carried out, subject plans can be carried out, and at the end of the day, they will come up with a value that maybe the State Working Committee, ESCO, will now look at and see whether it's affordable or not. So for us, the loan is following the due process. And my brother, get to the bank. At the Excellency, the governor of River State, it accounts for all cobbles have been accrued to River State coffers.
So in other words, you're saying that proper biddings were carried out before contractors who were assigned some of these projects got the projects that they're handling.
That's the point I'm making to you. That all processes and the files are supposed to pass through, and the competitors are come to bid for, and finally the particular company will be awarded. Those processes have been followed, and that's why I said if you understand the history, the governor of River State today, you will know that he's a meticulous person in nature, and we want to follow all bits and steps. No indication.
All right. Before I go on to a very fundamental question, I'd just like to follow up on this. Pick out one question somebody said online. Now, there are some who think that in recent times, the governor is making statements and during his speeches that seem to be very different from the personality he had before the election, during the election, and even in the early stages of his administration. I mean, this person here on Facebook, Alex Ifeanyi, says he loved the governor more when he was silent than now, where he seemed to be making too many utterances, and some of them, some people see as targeted at political opponents. What's your take on this?
When a man keeps quiet, he's right out of context. When a man speaks, he's right out of context. Governor of River State is not a witch hunting, and that is why he can take all the abuses, embarrassment that have been meted on him, that I've said in different grounds, that this is the most abused governor of River State. Even when the powers of the governor have not changed, but he decided to use his phone positively to better the life of our people. Now, for a family to statement that he has made that is derogatory, then we can begin to discuss it. But that the government will go to a commissioning or a reform project and he will yet without making any statement. I don't think it's fair. What people are saying, and most of the things that the governor is doing are projects that started and even completed 80%, 90% by the previous administration. And that was why, for instance, we went to the Salabari route last week, and the government brought out a white paper showing the actual value of the job, how much that was paid before he met it. The job that was paid about 20% in a 100% fee, it was paid out by the other government. So I don't know where the man has gone. What the man is saying is that the reverse so that we know where we are and what is doing. For instance, he can't come out to say no contract is being owed. And while in the table of the governor, there are no applications. Mandate for balance and all of that. The governor said that it is a targeted at an individual. The governor also listened to him. He said, after all, our matter is supposed to be consolidation and continuity. So after the people rules, when they let them to close his mouth, they should not tell them what they're doing with their money, or the state of work in it, or should have gone on in a project that was started by the administration and made impactful to the people of River State. The answer is no. Everyone must know what is happening so that when they ask questions, the answers will be available.
All right. And then before we open the phone lines, very importantly, The governor had said in 4 months, in 3 months, he's done more than administrations did in 8 years. Now, this, of course, you would agree with me, got a lot of people talking and asking questions. And that is why I would want to get your view on this, because under the past administration, immediate past administration, I'd like to start with that. From the first term, we also saw projects being commissioned, several projects, mostly road infrastructure. And we have heard the immediate past administration also saying that, well, one government cannot do everything. And he even said during the campaign that, well, this person that's coming now is from the civil service. So hopefully he is going to take good care of that area. Well, for me, you say I'm doing roads. Well, I have done the roads and done as much roads and bridges and all of that as I can. And not that we didn't see infrastructure in health. This tertiary level, we saw some infrastructure and et cetera, et cetera. So would you say that it is completely fair to say that in 3 months, this government has done more than past administrations in 8 years?
Very fair. Very, very fair. Now, let me tell you. You see, the problem we have is that we want to drive us to compare this present administration to the last administration. Even in the statement of the governor, he said past administrations. He did not specify, restrict himself to one particular one. But politicians who want to rigmarole and drag you into what you don't know or begin to force you. But let me just mention a few things to you now. This government is not interested in flagging up or missioning 5-7 kilometer routes. We are not interested in this jamboree. We are interested in commission of flagging up 27, 2018, 31, 33 kilometer routes. And if the government does that, you can imagine the value, especially now that cars are very expensive. Again, you can say, the government has done this best for me, that's my own analysis about government. The successive government will do better, like we are saying. My brother, like we used in the past administration, we are over 1, 2 to 12. We agree. Let me bring to your notice that in this first 1 year, the flyover that is under construction under this administration is more than 7 or 8. If that can be achieved within 1 year and 2 years, then you can imagine what will happen in the next 3 years coming. Those are some of the indices you can take. Let me tell you, this is a governor that met a big law. And civil servants have been promoted for 8 years. Now, for you to think about promoting the civil servant, you must look at the monetary value. You must look at the accumulated value. If you want to, so it is difficult for governors to do it, or he did it and promoted them and paid their arrears. Before we used to hear, including your station and your fiscal pensions. Pensions are not paid, arrears are not paid, but people are paid. I can tell you, if you are fair to this government, those has gone into extension. And 2, look at the local government civil service. Where it was difficult for local government chairman to pay 30,000 naira minimum wage. The money they cannot even pay to their personal aid. And this government said, no, it is the same market we go to, operate from the same angle, and the money must be paid. Motion must be carried out. These are the indices you check. It's only a government has the right that can agree to go into this kind of investment. Otherwise, people can look at the cumulative value and abandon it or run away. But he has said no, that he's going to, make sure that our people are happy. Can you imagine? So they will pay up a sum of 100 million, 100,000 naira, they are given to civil servants. No matter the level, some people cannot do it. You are still a voting loan of 4 billion. So, when the governor said, I have done well, more than the last administration.
Yeah, but there are those that would expect, Mr. Orji, if you'd allow me, there are those that would feel like, well, maybe the governor should allow the people say these things for him. There's a few messages on Facebook before we open the phone lines again. Siki Pali says the governor should focus more on human capital development and leave the political statements. Our wish is for every government to do better. The governor is absolutely right. Everything about him is transparent. No much talk, unlike previous administration. Chris Israel says one thing we should never forget is the wise statement that as a step with the people is better than 1,000 steps without the people. O.T. Stephen says, good morning. Please help me tell our governor that there is a project for free book distribution to all schools in River State, which was awarded by the previous government. The books have been produced and delivered to the state. Well, perhaps we'll find that from education. But I know that, O.T. Stephen, I know that before schools resumed, when the commissioners were there, for education precisely, I think it was last term or the term before, books were distributed to schools before resumptions and trainings were held and all of those things. I don't know if that's the one you're referring to. Amadi says his statement is laughable. Moreover, most of the projects commissioning now was consolidated projects from the past government. Okay, but I think I responded to this in the morning too. The Commissioner for Information was here to clarify all of these and even went on to list the projects and said the projects that are being commissioned now are projects that are being started by this government and completed by this government, and other projects that might have been completed that was taken over from the past administration were not going to have any ceremony for commissioning. Enehe Shaibu says such statement from the governor overhype and self-appraisal. Let the subjects judge him. The list goes on and on. Paul Wanchuku says civil servants were not promoted for 8 years. New administration has done that. This is an indication. I wish the governor could alleviate the suffering of retirees by clearing pension arrears, which is also something a lot of people have been mentioning, especially when you see what happened in Abia State with pension arrears and how the governor of that state was able to handle that situation. Robinson Ikboko says the governor has done nothing. Uzua Maka Clifford says I don't agree with governor, and the messages continue to pour in. All right, quickly, let us go over to the phone lines. I'm pretty sure there are those that want to say a few things, or even ask my guests a few questions. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003. Those are the numbers you can call to join the conversation this morning. Don't forget, on WhatsApp, it is still 0809-030-6416. Thank God Ability on WhatsApp says, within the short period of time, civil servants that have not been promoted for 8 years have been promoted 1 year in office. The governor has employed 1,000 health workers. How many did the past administration employ? And more employment is on the way. David says it's too early for the governor to start blowing his trumpet. It is not how well, but how far. David sent him down from Ida from Nkoro says the newly awarded road to Oyorokoto in Andoni, which is linked to the largest fishing settlement in West Africa, is a welcome development. This will bring much more development to the region and the economy of that area with the vast open the governor knows the best thing to do at the right time. I think we'll try to re-establish contact with my guest. In the meantime, let's hear from Zion. I beg your pardon, Ida from Nkoro. We'll start with you. Good morning. We lost that call. Zion from GRA. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning.
All right, Ida, you can call us back, please. Yes, let's get to Zion. Zion?
When I heard that voice over from the governor of awarding the road to Eyorokoto, tears drop off my eyes. You know why? That place is one of the world's habitable environment for fish, which means you and I can drive down to Eyorokoto and drink pepper soup, fresh fish pepper soup. The tourism potentials of that environment can be immense. Eyorokoto people can now sell their festival to the world, just like Arugongo Fishing Festival is being sold. Won't that grow the economy of River State and also promulgate our IGR? The truth is this: the governor did not even hype his 4 months in office yet. Making wait, we go tell them the things what he don't do. Do you know that under his watch, over 2,000 Rivers people have been employed secretly? They did not come and say, and that is my anger with these people. They will be benefiting from this government. They will not come out and talk. I've just been promoted. They are just taking my salary. Do you know that even the UB people now, they are capturing now biometrics? Have any of them...
All right, Mr. Orji, stay on the line for us.
I want to let you know, Andrew.
Yes, Zion, go on.
Fubara, governor in the history of Nigeria, that is not only trying to talk about governance, but making history right. Look at the sacked workers now. He has what? Bring them back and pay them.
All right, Zion.
20 years of the history of Rivers State.
Thank you very much. Let's go over to Victor. Point made. Victor is in Rumokrushi. Thank you. Victor in Rumokrushi. Good morning. Mr. Orji, stay on the line for us. Hello. All right, let's move on to Ida. Ida in Nkoro, good morning.
Andrew Femi, good morning.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to thank the governor of Rivers State. Andrew Femi, when you're talking about this on your Rokoto, the largest...
Ida, can you hold on for a minute, please? Ida, just hold on for a minute. Mr. Orji, stay on the line. We can hear you. We have to take calls from the listener so that they can make their contributions and ask their questions. So if you can hear me, Mr. Orji, just stay on the line. After we take their their calls and questions, you get the chance to respond. Hello, Ida, you can go ahead now.
Okay, Andrew, tell me, all those fish that is coming to this town houses, many places from that Rokoto, many here. So if we have a very big, large storage center there, I want to commend the governor. If you please, also call the storage beach. So please, we need storage center. Please, you can see storage center. They can be bringing fish. People can cook there, do one thing or the other. Governor, please, continue to good work. Don't listen to anybody. Look at that River is doing projects every year silently. Promotion is going on. Employment is going on silently. Yeah, 100 days in office, it's just like 50 years. Thank you very much. God bless you. Good morning,
All right, Ida, thank you. We'll see if we can take one more call this morning as we take a few more messages on WhatsApp. This one says the governor is doing absolutely well. The mere fact that our IGR has showed up significantly is a testament to that. Promotion, Christmas bonus for civil servants, and that's awesome. The statement by the governor is all about civil servants not... It's all about the civil servants not being promoted, increments in salary, emolga issues, etc. The past 8 years, that is what he meant. Barinada says from Bodo City, good morning. I totally agree with the governor because looking at the projects commission and those ones ongoing, it cuts across the 3 senatorial districts. Human capacity civil servants and our happy youths are carried along in his administration. What else do you want him to do now? Remember, it's just 4 months. Thanks. No, it's 1 year. Good morning. I'm happy the way things are going. The scales have fallen off the eyes of over 90% of supporters of the FCT minister. Now they realize that he did little or nothing. Kudos to the governor, Don Dada from Omwebe. That one came in from you. We'll be taking some more comments on Facebook as well. If you haven't joined the Facebook community, it is Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. And please ask the man in the studio, when will those applicants collect their appointment letters from Civil Service Commission? I mean, those that have been paid their salaries. Unfortunately, we're trying to reestablish contact with the guest. It's still very difficult to do that, and we are already running out of time. By Festus says, indeed, action, they say, speaks louder than words. The governor's comments about his administration being for 4 months old surpassed the previous administration. He did not say the previous. Okay. Well, all the other administrations are previous. So, Idianis Good says, good morning. The governor is doing very well, but sir, what about the 10,000 civil servants job up until now? No employment letter to those who did physical verification. Nkudili Uwogu says the governor is very correct because he has touched every organ of the economy. He should keep it up. And the governor also said something about making sure that in the next couple of months, the health sector in Rivers State will see drastic changes. Something he said, and I'm pretty sure it's something that we all will be looking forward to, and I hope that same would meet the education sector and agriculture, which is something that on Nigeria Info I think we've hampered on a lot at the time. The need to look into agriculture because we have a lot of resources. We should not be having food sold at the price it's been sold at in Rivers State. No, that's absurd. Not with the resources we have and the lands available for us to grow food. Oh, well, that's how we wrap things up on the show this morning. Jude is standing by for Hello Port Harcourt, and that would be immediately after the news at 9. In the meantime, a commercial is up next. Stick around for more information and entertainment. Stay tuned.
Democracy is the freedom of speech. Freedom of speech. Nigeria Info opens the mic.